All right, jumping right back on for Project 13. Okay, so this is the final reflection. It's what I learned, course structure, and value. All right, so hello again. My name is Autumn Poydras. This is my humanities class, Project 13 video. So the final week of this 5-week intensive course comes to a close. That's me bowing. I find myself reflecting not just on what I learned this week, but also the experience of the course itself as a whole. This week I engaged with the final chapter of My Name is Red, concluding the series of time quizzes and video-based projects that have become rhythmic, kind of, during this fast-paced course. I guess what stood out to me really this week, beyond the actual content itself, was how much I've grown in my ability to analyze narrative perspectives, symbolism, philosophical themes in literature and in art. So, pat myself on the back for that. That's what I learned in this class. One of the key things I learned this week was also the complexity of personal identity and perception, as kind of seen through the final chapters of the novel. The last few perspectives, particularly those of Esther and Olive, kind of deepen the theme of the subjective truth. Through projects like What I Learned, number 3, and What You Learned versus What Others Learn, I was encouraged to not just summarize, but kind of critically compare my interpretation with those of my peers. That process kind of underscored the importance of multiple perspectives, just like the book. And in the humanities, it reinforces how literature serves as a mirror of human thought and social evolution. So the next thing is structure of the course, a unique blend. So I'll get into that. So looking at the course structure, now that we've reached the end, I have to say it was very refreshing. It was really different, the way that it was set up. It's not a traditional humanities course at all. None that I've taken before. The syllabus was very clear about expectations from day one, especially with the emphasis of specification grading. I appreciated that. Thank you. I really appreciate that structure. I didn't rely on abstract or the arbitrary rubrics that you get in any other class. So instead, it provided very detailed tasks with very specific outcomes. It's kind of like humanities for dummies. Because they'll mess it. I mean, it's given. It's right there. It's given to you. It's on a platter. The grading was more about consistent effort, engagement, rather than like a rigid academic, performance. So it made it feel very fair. So the blend of activities, that was another note that I put down, was the blend of activities. So the 15 timed reading quizzes, 13 video-based projects, and an engaging novel made sure there was never a dull moment, okay? Each element served its own purpose, I believe. The quizzes kept me accountable. The projects pushed me to reflect and engage with my peers, research and speak and talk, engagement, basically. And the videos, both the lectures and our responses, it created like an unexpected, effective sense of classroom. These online things, you don't get that classroom feel, but you done a very good job as a professor laying this course out in a way that we still get this classroom-esque, feel. So I appreciated that. So the structure of the course is simulated the effect of a 16-week course semester, but only being packed into 5 weeks. That's not a very easy feat. But the instructor you managed that very well by trimming unnecessary readings, I believe, and focusing on critical like engagement pieces. Um, the way media was integrated from the crash course psychology to the philosophical YouTube explainers and such all made the course feel more current and applicable. Instead of reading static textbook chapters, we interacted with a variety of sources, prompted us to reflect on modern day relevance of ancient ideas and literary themes. So it was a very good combination. So next one was, did I get enough value? Yes, without a doubt. I walked into this class expecting another overview of classical texts, philosophical arguments, but I found something much more deeper and meaningful. We explored semiotics, memory, love, truth, beauty. Uh, all of these are major pillars of the beautiful human experience. So, through the multi-perspective novel, it also encouraged critical thinking. More importantly, the course, it was not just about memorizing historical facts. It was about developing a um, personal and I would say intellectual relationship with the actual content. So, in particular, I put down, I said, I valued the Better Than AI series of projects. Made us think very critically, contrasting human understanding with the generative AI. So in doing so, the course, it didn't just teach us about art, literature, and philosophy. It helped, doing that helped position us with a more modern conversation about technology, representation, and value of human interpretation. It's very stimulating, that part. I think the workload was very balanced. There was a lot to do in a short amount of time, but nothing felt like busy work to me. The every reading, quiz, video, reflection had a very clear goal, clear purpose. The flexibility of how we were able to submit our projects, primarily through video, was a very nice touch. Thank you. I think it allowed for more expressive, more dynamic engagement than a standard paper or discussion thread. Discussion threads can get so boring. They can, but these videos are great. I like looking at the different faces. It's like, it was really cool. So my final thoughts. So in conclusion, this week reminded me of how much I've developed intellectually over the course. I've sharpened my analytical reading skills, become more comfortable expressing complex ideas, learned how to value perspectives and that differ from my own. The structure of the course was very effective. A very brilliant, short 5-week, jam-packed window into a meaningful academic experience. That's what I wrote. So I don't think I just received a lot of value in terms of context, what I learned, but I also actually learned it. You got the content of what you learn, but is it going to stick with you? Is it going to stay there? How you learned, learning how to learn is a thing, and I think that this class really helped me with that. So it made me think, reflect, connect. And for a humanities class, that's a really high bar. So that's all I have. Thank you.